Hi, everyone. Hello. Welcome to my weekly Friday immigration news with me, Marina Shepelsky show. Welcome. I'm so happy to see you guys here, and I'm happy it's Friday. Happy Friday. This has been a super busy week for us. A lot going on, even though this is summer, and summer is supposed to be slow, right? A slow season, but I guess with, I don't know, the world changing, something's happening. The old rules no longer apply, and the summer has been really busy for many reasons. One of the great things this week is I was invited to be a speaker at a large sports conference that's also going to run at the same time as the Immigration Lawyers for Sports conference, to be a speaker about how to use social media for lawyers to advertise themselves, to market themselves, and to reach more people so that more people can know about what we do and choose whether to use our services or some other lawyer services or not. The thing with social media, it's really not much about like selling yourself. I think it's more about letting people know that you exist, that you're out there, right? So I'm going to talk about that. I will be presenting with another gentleman, another attorney. He is an Instagram expert, and I am the TikTok expert. And if you guys haven't signed up for my TikTok account, I highly recommend that you do. I have a lot of interesting things happening on TikTok. I post a few times a day there. I talk about everything from news to different case types. And usually, how I structure my TikTok is I listen to the guys, to you guys, to the questions that you guys ask, and I answer them in my TikToks. Whether I answer the questions the people who follow me post, or I use the questions you ask here, or on Facebook, or my clients who I do consultations with, and I answer Q&A the whole day on TikTok. So you will hear all kinds of interesting things about immigration, about life for immigrants in America, about news and social things having to do with immigration. So sign up there. And I see some people are joining us, and I welcome you. I'm going to say good morning to some people. Kelly says good morning. Good morning, Kelly. Viraj says good morning. Good morning. Hi, how are you? Let's get into the news of this week, immigration news of this week. And by the way, if you have questions, post them here. And when I'm done with talking about the news, I will start to answer your questions. Nothing in the show is meant to be legal advice, but rather information, educational stuff that you can use and make your decision whether you'd like to, have a consultation with our team. So we work with a whole team of lawyers and experts, so you can call and make a really specific consultation to talk about your case specifically. What I do is answer questions, but also talk generally about the general problems that people like yourself might be facing in that category. So post your questions in the comments, and I'm going to start talking about the news now. All right. So, interesting news this week that this just came out, that USCIS decided to fix this problem they had for TPS holders. So first of all, TPS is temporary protected status. It's like temporary asylum, like temporary refugee status. Now, if you were in one of the, like, I think 14 or 15 countries that they designate now, recently adding Ukraine, Congo, and other countries have been there forever, like El Salvador, Sudan, and so on. If you're from one of those countries, you apply. If you were here at a certain date in the United States, you get the status with a work permit and a right to travel, right? So before, it wasn't clear, first of all, if you could even travel if you have TPS. Now they said, okay, we're going to come out. They looked at some recent cases. They looked at some recent guidelines with this agency called Department. One second. Department of Homeland Security's Office of General Counsel. So they consulted with them. This is like the lawyers for Department of Homeland Security. They have their own legal team representing them. So they looked at it and they said, look, TPS people will now for sure be allowed to travel. They can use advanced parole. There's going to be a new specific advanced parole type. The document that for TPS people is advanced parole will be called I-512T. So their advanced parole is the T type. That's completely new. They just came up with this. And people who have TPS, and this is the really cool thing, if you came in without a visa, you crossed the border, you were from Haiti, you were paroled. We've seen that a lot. Haiti people were being paroled after the huge, devastating earthquake they had. They come to the border and they were just allowed to enter with parole. That's called paroled. No visa though, right? But at the border, they got authorization to come in. So if you got that, you're not considered as admitted and inspected. You didn't have a visa, right? You didn't have like an open invitation. So the problem is that people with TPS status, for example, would marry a US citizen, but they're still not eligible to get a green card here in the United States because of no visa. They came without a visa. Now, this is fixing that problem. It's saying, look, if you use your advanced parole for TPS holders and you travel to Mexico, for example, and you come back into the United States, you travel to any country, and then you come back to the United States, when coming back, you will be considered inspected and admitted. And that means you now can file for a green card through marriage. If one of your kids turn 21 and they're, a U.S. citizen, through family situations. So TPS travelers with advanced parole will be able to fix this problem of originally having entered with no visa, entered without inspection. Travel with this new advanced parole, you're going to fix that and you'll be able to get a green card. So this is great news. I'm very excited about it, and I wrote about it on my blog on our website, shepelskylaw.com. By the way, you guys should check it out. I write even more stuff than I discuss in the show there. In case you're interested, check out our website. Now, another interesting news is that there was a leaked report. This report was secret and it wasn't supposed to come out, at least not yet. But someone leaked it, and the report was done by the Inspector General. And the report, basically combined Department of Homeland Security's own investigations. And they said that this report found that the people who work in Border Patrol, the Custom and Border Patrol, enforcement people, the people at the border, they failed to track about 1/3 of the, undocumented immigrants coming in to the United States. And they just picked one period, March to June 2021. So this happens all the time, right? But they specifically examined this 3-month period in 2021. And at that time, 720,000 migrants were encountered, meaning they had contact, they tried to enter, and they were tracked by Department of Homeland Security. But instead of tracking them after that, through their computer systems or whatever, they use really old school, primitive ad hoc methods such as whiteboards to try to track them, and they could not track them. So they lost them completely. Okay, so here they are dealing with a border crisis, and they're not doing a very good job of tracking these people. So what do they decide to do now? They decided to go back to Trump's idea to build the wall again, okay? So, they went back to that idea of building the wall. They defended their decision, even though Biden said when he was getting elected, they were not going to build the wall anymore. He said not even 1 foot of the wall will be built. In August 2020, when he was getting elected, he said that, okay? And yet we discovered that they're continuing to build the wall and filling in gaps and working on the wall, okay? Why? Because, now they're saying it's not to stop the immigrants from coming in, it's for safety of the migrants coming in. They're doing this, all right? One second, I'm just gonna turn off my phone, put it on do not disturb. All right, so basically they went back to what Trump was doing. Shocking, right? Anyway, monkeypox is all over the news this week, and people are really scared. And the World Health Organization declared monkeypox to be a global emergency. And they said, the CDC, the Center for Disease Control, came out with some safety guidelines for traveling. So this is for people who are traveling around the United States, but also outside and coming back to the United States. And just as a statistic, in the United States right now, there's confirmed 6,300 cases of monkeypox. Now, of course, for a country of our size, it's not that much, but it might grow. So whatever. So the CDC says that amongst travelers, it's very rare that you can pick up monkeypox. But here are the following safety guidelines when traveling. Avoid touching other people and close contact. It's not airborne. It's not like COVID or sneezing or whatever. So it passes through contact, through touching, okay? Now, do not hug or kiss or touch people who look on the surface to have rash or skin or genital lesions. Now, to touch genital lesions, you have to understand, you have to look into somebody's private area. So when you're traveling, you're not going to see if somebody's private area got some lesions, okay? This is kind of ridiculous. I'm just reading to you the guidelines from when it was published, But anyway, if you see somebody's, pee area with lesions, don't touch it. Wash your hands with soap. For traveling, I don't know how this is important, but it is. Avoid sharing cups, glasses, forks, and knives, in clothes of a sick person. Okay, again, when you're traveling, don't use somebody else's glass or fork. I mean, that's common sense, even if it's not monkeypox, okay? In this day and age, paper cups is the best, okay? Use a paper cup and throw it away. Wash hands with soap often. And you have to, actually stand there and rub with soap for a good 20 seconds when you wash it. We learned this during COVID. So I hope you guys are following this, especially when you're traveling. Always use soap and water. Keep sanitizer in your pocket or in your purse. That's at least 60% alcohol, but washing your hands is better than sanitizer. Stay away from animals when traveling, okay? Don't go to zoos and touch those animals, live or dead. Don't touch rodents and primates like monkeys or apes, obviously. Do not eat meat from wild game, and don't use products like creams or lotions from African wild animals. Like products that are made from wild animals, don't use them. And watch for symptoms. If you get a fever, if you get weird rashes or lesions, call your doctor immediately. Go to urgent care. Do not touch other people. Avoid contact. And don't use trains, buses, subways, airplanes, or any way of public transportation until you see your doctor, okay? Because please protect other people for safety. Now, I talked about the Biden administration building the wall now, continuing to build the wall. They explained that it's okay because they're doing it to protect migrants who can slip down a slope or drown walking through a low section of the Colorado River. And they caught them doing this in the Arizona area. So this came out. And that's all I have for the news this week. We're continuing to work a lot on Vawa cases, abused marriage for people in an abusive marriage to a U.S. citizen or even a green card holder, or if you're recently divorced, reminding you men can use this. So if you're a guy, if you're a man and you need help getting out and getting a green card through your spouse, she's a citizen, you're not, she doesn't want to file for you, we can help you. I had an interesting consultation this week with a man from Pakistan. He married an American naturalized lady. She's from another country. She became a U.S. citizen. They got married, and she actually filed the marriage case for him. In the process, USCIS found out, and they sent them a letter saying, give me evidence that she has a full divorce from her first marriage. And it turns out she was not yet divorced all the way from her first marriage. So basically she was a polygamist. She was married to two people at the same time, our client and the other dude, the first husband. So USCIS basically pointed this out to him, and she withdrew the marriage case. Okay, she called them and said she wants to end it. So he's out of luck. The marriage is not real. They have to annul it, and she doesn't want to even do that. He's completely stuck. He's starting to feel suicidal. This man was telling me that he wants to kill himself. She's driving him insane. She said she will never leave him. She will never let him get out. And she's trying to force him to have sex, which he's afraid of even doing now with her, to make sure she has a baby with him. She told him this. And to get him stuck with her for at least the next 21 years. So that's what people are dealing with. This is completely abusive. And even though she doesn't hit him or punch him, there's so much abuse, other things that he told me that's going on, that this is a good, strong case for Vawa, even though he's a man. So if you're a man dealing with this, or a woman, of course, women deal with this so much more often. If you're being hit, punched, called names, put in these situations, forced to have sex against your wishes and other things, this is abuse. It's not to be put up with. We can help you get out of such a marriage. Also in the news, by the way, I didn't mention this, but I should. USCIS is continuing to welcome people from other countries, and the Biden administration is very much for this. If you're in the STEM industry, science, technology, engineering, math, or if you're in arts or business and you're really outstanding, you're a PhD or PhD candidate, and you got really cool grants and projects, or if you work in a business industry in those fields and making really awesome accomplishments, and there's articles about you, and you're known in your field, give us a call. We can help you get a green card or even a visa through work or even through self-sponsorship. If you are extraordinary, outstanding enough, you can even file for yourself, and you don't need a sponsor. You don't need a job offer. You could just do for yourself, and we are very successful. We got many people green cards that way. So give us a call. And here are the questions. I'm going to start with Courage Altabar. She says, my I-140, which we were just talking about. Oh my God, that's so fun. We were just talking about the work green card. That's the I-140 petition. That is the work green card. My work green card I-140 petition is approved from June 8, 2022. How soon will be my interview? Employment base is EB3, unskilled worker. So Courage actually had to go through the Department of Labor certification. That means the Department of Labor approved the job for that employer that she had. And the next part is the immigration part. So she got the petitioner employment petition approved, but now she's going to wait for the interview with the field office, the I-485. I'm going to take a look. And I always go for things like this to either the current visa bulletin with the Department of State, and I'm going to take a look at August, or USCIS processing times. Okay. So, if you are not from China or El Salvador or India or Mexico or Philippines, they're more or less current. That means, they're going with the usual processing times of USCIS. Then I go to USCIS.gov, USCIS.gov, and I go to processing times. And I recommend that you guys also take a look if you have a processing type of question, right? And now, since you have the I-140 approved, you now should either do, well, I assume you are not in the United States. I assume that you are somewhere in another country, and I can't tell what country you are in right now. How long? So if you are in another country, it's going to be a few more months for you to be approved because they're current with the visas. So soon they'll send it to the embassy. A few more months. TD says, welcome. I was waiting for you. Welcome to you, TD. Welcome. Welcome. Ali Kram says, please let us know about essential workers immigration plan and registry date update. So they're still talking about updating the registry. It's an amnesty. I haven't seen much news about it. They're discussing it. They're in the process, but it's moving along kind of slowly. It's not been anything in the news, so nothing new is happening. Just to let you guys know what he's asking, or I guess it's a he, Ali, is asking about, is that a few weeks ago, Congress announced that Democrats are sponsoring a bill, a new law. They're sponsoring, means it didn't pass. They want to pass this law that would move the immigration registry date from 1986 to like 2015, meaning anybody who's here 7 years or more can just apply for a green card through this immigration registry. You don't need like a work petition or a family petition or anything else. It's just you apply because you're a person of good moral character, you don't have arrests, you pay taxes, and you've been here so long that now you have ties to the United States. Now, the law as it is right now says 1986 or before. Okay, so if somebody was here in 1986 or before, they could just apply for a green card through this immigrant registry. Now, they're trying to just take that law and move up the date. So a lot more people would be eligible, obviously, than 1986. But nothing new has happened. We'll see what happens. The UI champ says, when do you expect F4 immigrants will move? Will you please predict the timing? Now, F4 immigrants is the brothers and sisters of U.S. citizens. So he probably has a brother or sister who's a U.S. citizen and filed for him. He can bring his wife and kids and himself, of course, through green cards. But right now they're looking in, the usual category at 2007. If you're from China, also 2007. If you're from India, even 2005. So India, 2005, they're looking at. Mexico from 2000, 22 years wait if you're a Mexican. And 2002 for Philippines, also very long wait. Now, do I think it's going to move anytime soon? I think maybe next year, because they're talking about the new guidelines for expediting cases to fix all these crazy delays with USCIS. Hopefully, they're going to start fixing with USCIS. NVC has to follow, National Visa Center, and the Department of State. So maybe next year. Right now, by the end of this year, nothing will change. That's my prediction. Thank you for asking. He said, because according to the Charlie, he said last year that till June 2022, we will not move therefore, but it's August and now it's still moving. Yeah, I don't think it's moving anytime soon. It's super delayed. Fatuma Raffle says, hello, dear. How are you doing today? So National Visa Center sent me a welcome letter last week. I have already paid the affidavit of support and the visa fees for immigrant visa, and I will be uploading all documents. So how long do I have to wait? Another 2-3 months, because the next step will be all this will be approved, right? The next step is everything you upload, it has to be approved. They will let you know that it's ready for interview, and they will physically send your case to the embassy in the country. And then that's going to be another month or two for interview. So I'm thinking 2 to 4 months approximately until you'll be called. Okay, for the interview. Kelly says, my question is on the national interest waiver. Okay, I talked about this. We do national interest waivers. Can someone who's already in the U.S. without a status apply for the national interest waiver? The answer is no. You have to be in status. Fatima says, okay, yeah, so we talked about this already. Happy Friday, says Sunny Patel. What a beautiful picture, Sunny, you have here for the magical elephant made out of leaves. Please write to me what it's called. I know in the Indian culture, there's like a name for the elephant. It is so beautiful. Oh my God. There's a question in Russian, Rustem Ramazanov. I'm going to read it in Russian, then I'm going to translate to English. Здравствуйте, Марина. У меня такой к вам вопрос. Можно ли, приехав в Канаду по программе CUAET, пересечь канадско-американскую границу и попросить украинские... He's asking if he can ask for humanitarian parole right at the border with United States. It looks like he came through some special program to Canada that actually I don't know what it's called, but let me see. CUAT program Canada. Oh, it's for Ukraine people. Okay. Rustam, you have to file for the Uniting for Ukraine program. Uniting for Ukraine. Рустам, вы должны подать на программу, которая называется U4U, Uniting for Ukraine. На границе сейчас могут ничего вам не дать. Сейчас это не самая лучшая идея, но вы имеете право подать из Канады на U4U. Вам только нужен спонсор в Америке. Rashid says, thank you for sharing your knowledge with us. Yasser, you're welcome, of course. Yasser Ibrahim says, hi, Marina. Congratulations after filing U visa with Vermont last February. What are the steps and how long it takes to receive the work permit? So they passed like this year a new law that if you file for the U visa, now the U visa is for victims of crimes who help the government, like police or district attorney, put the criminal in jail. They testify, they go to trial, they point them out. Like if you were a victim of robbery and you help the police capture the robber, right? You can, so the police or the district attorney signs paperwork sponsoring you for this visa. You file it. First of all, the visa processing time is taking like 5 or 6 years right now, super long. But they passed a law this year that if you have a pending U visa application, you need to get that, it's called like a bona fide, I'm going to tell you for sure what it's called because I don't remember off the top of my head. U visa EAD for bona fide. It's called bona fide determination process. That's what it's called. So if you have a pending U visa, for example, like I'm going to just draw a parallel to Vawa here. Vawa already has this. So if you file everything that you need to file for Vawa, you get something called a prima facie approval. Meaning, on the surface, you have given the government everything they need to approve you, but they need time to look at it. So they give you a prima facie approval, but now you have a document that you can go and use to apply for free medical insurance, like Medicaid, or get subsidized housing or like special shelter. You know what I mean? For victims. U visa is the same now. This is a new thing that happened actually in 2021. They created this bona fide determination process that says you can get a work permit, an employment authorization while your U visa is pending for 5 years. Okay, now you have to file first for U visa, and then they review it, and then they issue it. Now, how long it's going to take, it's really hard for me to tell. For some people, it's a few months. Sometimes it's a year or 2 years. You've already filed last year. Hopefully, it's coming very soon. Okay. I'm just looking at what they're saying about it. And you don't need to write them or do anything special. They're just gonna do it themselves. It's hard to know right now how long it takes. I'm sorry. Like, I don't really know. There's no real reporting anywhere about this. Okay. Oh, Filipino. Oh, and she's in the United States. Okay. If you're in the United States and you were approved through the I-140, okay. F3 for Philippines, it is you're in the 3 categories, skilled workers. Second. They're current in the Philippines, from the Philippines. So there's no special delay because you're from Philippines. And it's going to take, I'm going to tell you right now how long. I can now look you up since I know you're inside the United States. Employment-based. Let's say you're in New York. I don't know where you're from. Let's say you're from New York. It depends on the city. Okay, if you are in New York City, it's taking 17 months Okay, but this is from the date of filing of your I-485. So depending on when your I-485 was filed, Courage, okay, depending when you filed it, from that date, approximately 17, 18 months if you live in New York. If you're in another city, I can look you up. Just tell me what city. Rashid Rash says, how long is the U visa processing? I'm going to tell you right now. U visa is 1918, 918. Form I-918 on the page that's check case processing time. Okay, and let's say you're in Vermont. That means Vermont is handling your case. Are you ready? 61 and a half months from the date you filed, Rashid. So if you divide that by 12, it's about 5 years. 5 years and a half, really, it takes for the U visa to be approved. It's a long process. Thank you. You don't need to wait for, the question is, does she need to wait for her I-485 first to be approved to get the work permit? No, the work permit should come soon. From the date you file for the work permit, it's currently taking about 11 months to get the work permit. So you don't have to wait for the green card. You'll get the work permit first, hopefully. Andrew Lopez says, my green card is going to expire in September of 2022. And I did apply for citizenship in July 22, and I did biometrics in August. Now my green card will expire and citizenship process is not finished yet. What should I do? If he wants to, I assume you want to travel, Andrew. Okay, so you probably should renew your green card. I always tell people who are waiting for the green card, I always tell people who already filed for citizenship, but whose green card is expiring, just in case, to file for green card renewal. Because you want to travel, because who knows how long citizenship will take. I recommend you renew your green card. Okay, Kamoji says, good morning, my favorite lawyer. Good morning, good morning. Hi. Audrey says, hi, I came here with an F1, that's a student visa, currently out of status, but pursuing a PhD in IT. 60% complete with graduation next August. Can I apply for the national interest waiver? Since you're out of status, no. If you don't have any status, your F1 is expired, which is strange. You're still going to school. I don't know why they didn't extend your F1. If you're not in status, you cannot apply for the national interest waiver. Oh, courage. I guessed it. You're in New York. Oh, I guessed it. I didn't know what it is about me. I promise you I'm not like magic or anything, but I'm very, very good at guessing where people live and where they're from and stuff like that. Okay, so you filed in June 2021. Now we add like 17 months to that. I'm thinking end of this year, you'll get your green card. And by now, you should have gotten your work permit. Hopefully, your lawyer filed for the work permit and filed for the I-485 for you. If not, if they will file right now, oh, no, it says they filed I-485. So hopefully they filed for the work permit. You should receive it any minute now. The work permit is coming. The green card end of this year, like November, December. Hello, attorney, says Jazz. And thank you so much, attorney. God bless. God bless you, Courage. And thank you for writing with your question, because we all get to learn something from the questions that you guys ask. Lauren says, hey, thank you for your information. Watching you from South Africa. Amazing. Amazing what technology can do. I'm so happy. Thank you for watching and welcome. I'm so excited. South Africa. I want to visit, by the way. Immigrant Forum says, hi, and thank you for your videos. Thank you, Immigrant Forum. I got to check you out and follow you after the show. I like the name of your channel. Kamuji says, I filed for Vawa and I did biometrics already, meaning he did fingerprints. How now they send the RFE for good faith marriage and police clearance. Is this a good sign? Yes, it's a good sign. That means they're actually working on your case. And if you send them everything you're supposed to send them, which is your joint bills, your tax returns, your pictures, your insurance policies, any travel with your spouse, pictures, I recommend you glue them Like you take a piece of paper. This is what I do with pictures for Vawa, right? Let's say this is your picture. Glue the picture or staple it like this on the paper. On the bottom, sign date the picture was taken, who is in the picture, because they don't know your family. So you say, me, my spouse, and my spouse's parents. Date, July 4th, 2022, Independence Day, or 4th of July weekend or picnic at Illinois State Park, such and such. Okay? So date, place, who is in the picture, and like the name of the event. Maybe you are traveling. Maybe you are at a family picnic. Maybe it's a wedding for a family or friend. Sign those pictures and use like 20, 25 pictures for your Vawa case, or even for removal of conditions, or even for your marriage case. It's always the same. To prove your marriage is real, don't just stick the pictures in. Sign them. Date, place, who is in the picture, and like the name of the event. What was it that you attended together, for example? And if it wasn't an event, it could be lunch with coworkers. It could be dinner for my birthday, whatever. The RFE is a good sign. That means there's a human being, an officer, who's looking at your case. Police clearance should be easy to get. Make sure to give them everything that any place you lived for in the United States for over 6 months. So, if you lived in different places, we do an FBI police clearance. FBI will cover all of the states. So that's easy. Thank you. Paul James says, thank you for your video. Jana Lee says, hello, Marina. Hello. All right. I'm running out of comments. Our video is already going for 37 minutes. So I'm going to wrap this up, and I wish you to have a wonderful weekend. On my screen, I'm seeing 59 people are watching. So bye, everybody. Have a great weekend. Have a wonderful Friday. I hope you're doing something nice this weekend. I'm planning to maybe go to the beach once. And I'm in the process of buying a house. So I'm really working hard on that right now. Oh, there's 2 more questions, and then I go. OKW says, when I need to travel outside of US, what documents do I need to take with me? Travel documents, TPS. If you have TPS, file I-131 for advanced parole. Okay? So advanced parole is what you need to bring with you. Yeah, it would be good to bring your letter of TPS and your valid passport. Oh, Immigrant Forum says we're helping Ukrainian refugees in the tri-state area. That's where I am. I'm in New York, New Jersey, tri-state area. We tried to start a YouTube channel. It's easier to share the info, but too busy now. So we offer people to listen to you. Oh my God, thank you so much. I didn't know that. You should give us a call at the office and talk to Jacob, Immigrant Forum. Call our office, talk to Jacob. We can set up like a live show with you on your channel and talk together with whoever you want from your account, so I can talk to Ukrainians on your channel and give them legal advice, ask them, if they can ask questions. What affirmative letters? TD, I don't know what you're talking about. I lost track of what your question was. Okay, Immigrant Forum is asking, can United for Ukraine Parolees travel outside? They haven't said anything. So I don't know. I'm also telling my clients to apply for the advanced parole. When you apply, I think then USCIS will start to make those kinds of decisions. They haven't announced it, right? People with humanitarian parole usually are not allowed to travel, but this is a special one for Ukraine. So we don't know yet if they can travel. The way to find out is when you file for work permit. Once you're inside the United States and you file the I-765, if you want, file for advanced parole and see what they say. Okay, and my phone number is on the bottom. Speak to Jacob, and I will let him know that you'll be calling. And yeah, I would love to do the one. I'm from Ukraine. I'm from Kiev. Okay, so for me, this is a no-brainer. Ukraine is an independent country. You cannot just invade and kill people in this neighboring country just because you decide you want the Soviet Union back. Douglas says, good morning. After getting the welcome letter for the I-130 from and getting the welcome letter, How long after I will hear from them? You mean I-485 and I-130? I don't know what you filed. If you filed I-130 and welcome letter, and that means you got your green card approved, I-485, then 5 to 6 weeks. Okay, Jana says a USAS approving work authorization and travel documents super fast now. No, they're not. It's not super fast. It's slow. Immigrant firm is a popular question. Thank you for all your help. I think the way to solve this question, if people can travel, my initial response is no. But I think if you file for advanced parole and you prove an emergency situation why you need to travel, I think they might say yes for some people. That's what I think. All right, I end the show. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week.